Hey everyone, welcome back. We're in for a really fun video today because today we're gonna be setting some really ambitious, but hopefully still somewhat realistic goals for 2026. But before we do that, we need to get into some emotionally risky territory and look back at my 2025 goals. To be totally honest, I haven't looked back at these goals since I originally wrote them, and I'm a little bit afraid of what we'll find. Let's just rip off the band-aid, I guess, and see how it went. And if you want to watch the video where I originally set the goals, then check out this video on my comfyera vlog channel. Anyway, let's get right into it. So my first goal was all about YouTube. And the overall goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers on the comfyera YouTube channel. Obviously, that did not happen, but plot twist, I completely pivoted and started a whole new channel, which is this one. So with that in mind, I'm still really happy with how the year went overall. And for all the data girlies out there, let's pull some stats. I gained 116 subscribers on this channel and 81 subscribers on my vlog channel for a total of 197 subscribers. Doing the math, that means that I gained an average of 28 subscribers per video since I only posted 7 videos in total last year. Is that good? Is that bad? I honestly have no idea, but to me, it feels like good progress. And if you're one of those 197 people that subscribed, grazie mille from the bottom of my heart. You have no idea how much this means to me because doing YouTube is literally a dream for me. So I'm super grateful for each and every one of you. Let's keep looking at the goals. One of my main goals, which honestly I really didn't think was possible at the time, was to post 6 videos by the end of 2025. And this is honestly the goal that I'm the proudest of because when I wrote this goal, it was already October. And by then I had only posted 2 videos. So this seemed really impossible to achieve, but somehow I ended up posting 5 videos between October and December of 2025, and that was a level of consistency that I had never been able to achieve before. Fingers crossed that I can keep this momentum going in 2025 because I honestly feel like it would be life-changing. Another goal that I had was to publish a moving vlog or an apartment tour, and none of those happened because I was focusing on this channel, but that's fine. The other goal was to do at least 1 or 2 collabs, and honestly, it's a bit of a bummer that it didn't happen in 2025, but let's see if we can manifest it for 2026. And then the last goal was to create a production workflow and schedule that works for me. And I do think I did that, which I'm super proud of because this was a thorn in my side for so many years. And that is a huge part of how I was able to post 5 videos in just 2 months, which I know doesn't sound like much if you're one of those people that posts like a video a week. But for somebody like me who used to post a video every 6 months, this is just incredible. So I do feel a lot more comfortable about being able to successfully balance my 9 to 5 with writing and with YouTube. I don't know, I feel like some people do it really well, but for me, I have ADHD. My job is really stressful. I am recovering from some health issues. So yeah, it feels like a huge accomplishment and I'm proud of myself. And if you're curious about how I managed to get it all done and want to see a video about it, just let me know down in the comments and I'll try and see if I can make it happen. Okay, now moving on to health. This one is gonna be quick because there's a lot that I didn't do in here. The only thing I really did was to walk 10,000 steps a day, which is not that impressive for me because it's something that I do regardless. I just love walking and I go on a walk every single day without fail. I mean, okay, maybe if it rains, then no. But everything else pretty much didn't really happen. Notable mention is that I did do a little bit of strength training. I like to do Chloe Ting challenges because they're free and I've seen results every single time that I've done one of them. And this year, I actually got to do them with 2 of my close friends. Shout out to Chuck and Karen. And it was so much fun to get strong together. And thanks to their support, I was able to finish one of the challenges and I'm very close to finally finishing the second one as well. So yeah, thank you both for joining me. It was so much fun. And I actually did get my body fat percentage down from 30.1% to 29.5%, which doesn't sound like much, but it actually does make a difference. I definitely feel much better. My jeans still feel tight, but not as much as before, which I'm really happy with. And most importantly, I gained 1 pound of muscle, which again is not a lot, but I like to celebrate small wins because I think progress is always a good thing. And the best part is that I could actually tell the difference. Usually I am such a weakling, but this holiday season, I was able to carry my heavy ass luggage all by myself and felt super proud. So yeah, we love a strong woman. Okay, we're in the last part, which is creativity. And one of the main goals was really to make space for creativity in my calendar. And I do feel like I did that. It does mean that my weeks are fairly packed because basically anytime that I'm not working or sleeping, I'm probably either eating or writing or making a YouTube video. So yeah, it's been intense, to say the least. At the same time, it's the kind of business that feels good because I'm doing things that bring me so much joy and fulfillment. Okay, the other goals were to work on YouTube videos at least 3 times per week, which I've definitely done. I'm actually working on YouTube videos almost every single day, if you can believe it. And honestly, I can't, but it's just how it's been. And the last goal was to work on my novel at least 1 to 2 times a week. And I did that too somehow. I honestly really don't know how I did all these goals, but rereading them is making me feel kind of emotional because I remember that when I wrote them, I honestly wasn't sure if I was actually going to be able to do this. But now that I'm here, it's just a very good feeling. I don't know if you can relate to this, but having gone through some serious health issues, I've had to give up on my dreams so much. And it was really scary for somebody like me who is very ambitious and has lots of dreams and just loves to live life to the fullest, to have to take a step back and to not have the energy to be able to achieve all the things that I wanted to achieve. And now that I'm feeling so much better, it is really amazing to be able to be ambitious again and to slowly start rebuilding faith in myself and in my ability to actually make the things that I want to make real in the world. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 2026 goals. But before we go there, I just wanted to say that if you set ambitious goals in 2025 and you didn't achieve them, please be kind to yourself because sometimes life happens and things don't go according to plan. Just like what happened with me with my health issues, which basically stole a couple of years of my life. But the good news is that we're in a new year, and if last year didn't go quite like you wanted to, this could be your chance to change things around. So don't let what happened last year discourage you at all, and instead just turn over a new leaf, write ambitious goals, and who knows, maybe this is the year that everything will come true and that you'll have the energy and focus to make your dreams a reality. I think sometimes you have to be a little bit hopeful even when there isn't really reason to hope, because you never know, you might have a really good year. And with all that said, let's start planning 2026 and let's try to be our most hopeful and ambitious selves. Like I said, my intention is to be somewhat realistic, but I also really want to push myself out of my comfort zone and try to see if I can take things a little bit further. And at the end of the day, if I don't achieve all these goals, it's really not the end of the world. There are no real consequences. And the other thing I will say is that I'll be proud of myself even if I only achieve some of these goals. So the stakes are pretty low. Worst case scenario, if we don't get to everything, we can get to it next year. But I do find that having the goals written down helps me focus and prioritize in a very weird way. Even if I don't look at the goals ever again, I almost feel like my subconscious remembers them somehow. I really don't know how it happens, but it really does make a difference. For me, the biggest value of taking the time to write these goals down is that it helps me to clarify what's truly important to me, and that helps to prevent shiny object syndrome, which is something that happens to me a lot, where I'll see something that feels interesting and I'll be like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this other thing. But if I already know what my priorities for the year are, then it's easier for me to stick to them. And for somebody like me who has ADHD and tends to not be able to finish things because I tend to get distracted, anything that helps me to stay focused is a good thing. This is the spirit that I'm going into this exercise with. And even if I don't achieve all these goals, I'm not going to beat myself up, because in my book, any progress is a good thing and something to celebrate. Okay, I've really yapped enough, so now let's actually start setting these goals. Let me open up the Notion page and create that first section, which I think is going to be the meatiest one, which is all about writing. My focus for this year will remain Project Gaia, a sci-fi/fantasy novel, which I hope will become my debut. Ideally, I'd love to publish it before I turn 40, which is wild to say because I'm currently 37 years old and I still feel like I'm 25 at heart. So I don't know where the last 12 years went, but yeah, hopefully the next 3 years don't go nearly as quickly, and I would be super happy if I actually get to publish before then. We'll see. Even though I'm saying that I would love to publish by 40, I'm gonna try and see if I can get it done faster. I'm not sure how realistic that is, but with that in mind, I have some very ambitious goals when it comes to writing in 2026. I'm hoping to finish the first draft of the novel and then send the manuscript to alpha readers. And then, while I'm waiting for feedback, I'm also hoping to design the cover of the book itself, which I'm really excited about because I'm gonna hire a professional designer and I can't wait to see what they come up with. Then I hope to finish the second draft of Project Gaia, which, we'll see how doable that is. And then, if there's time, I would also love to send the manuscript to beta readers so that they can read the manuscript over the holidays and that I can ideally start working on draft 3 by the beginning of 2027. I'm gonna make a whole video about my publishing plans, but the TLDR is that if everything goes according to plan, then I'm gonna be publishing my book towards the end of 2027. But yeah, I'll go into a lot more detail in that video, so stay tuned. And writers out there, I have no idea how realistic this is because I've never published a novel before. So yeah, please save me from myself and let me know in the comments what you think is realistic. Are these even the right steps if I'm trying to self-publish? Am I putting them in the right order? What would you do if you were me? Tell me everything. I want to hear your thoughts. All this being said, I'm really looking forward to just learning about this process and also learning about myself and what kind of writer I am. At the end of the day, the most important thing for me is to write a book that I'm proud of and that hopefully you will love. And if it takes a little bit longer to do that, so be it. Okay, now moving on to the next goal, which is all about YouTube. My dream between you and me would be to gain 1,000 subscribers across my 2 channels, which is this writing channel and my comfyera vlog channel. I think that could actually happen because, like we talked about before, if everything keeps going the way it has been, it would quote unquote only take me 35 more videos to get there. Now, the problem though is that I'm not 100% sure if I'll be able to make 35 videos while also maintaining a full-time job. So yeah, I might have to settle with a lower number of videos and maybe we won't get to the goal unless there's always the hope that a video goes viral and then that would be amazing. And of course, if you like my videos and haven't subscribed yet, this would be a good time to gently tap that subscribe button and help me achieve my dream. Thank you. Okay, thank you for bearing with my self-promo. Let's talk about the other goals. I also want to publish some videos that I've been wanting to make for quite a while, namely a decluttering video. It's actually going to be 2 videos, I think, because my house is really in need of decluttering. That's gonna go on my comfyera channel. And I also want to post a surprise video for the comfyera Writes YouTube channel. I'm not gonna spoil that one, but I promise it'll be a good one. And then I'd love to further optimize my workflow because it still takes me 40 hours or more to make every single video. And I have a feeling that there is opportunity for me to make the process a little bit more efficient. It's not even so much that I want to be faster. It's more so that I would love for the process to be less stressful and more fun, because I think the more fun that I can make YouTube and writing, the better it's going to be and the more videos I'll be able to make. I'll report back and let you know how it goes. But yeah, hopefully I can make things even better this year. And then this one I'm honestly kind of torn on, but the last goal is I would like to be able to make maybe $500 from this YouTube channel. The reason I'm so torn about this is that on one hand, being a full-time creative has been a lifelong dream of mine. And for that to happen, I actually do have to start making money. Otherwise, I will never be able to actually do this full-time unless I win the lottery or something like that. But yeah, I'm not sure how likely that is. Because of that, I think I probably should try to find a way to make money, but I'm also really protective of you all. And I want to make sure that I monetize in a way that feels right and that doesn't compromise my integrity in any way and that generally provides value. So yeah, if you have ideas on what you'd like to see from me that you feel would actually be worth paying for, then please let me know. And if there are things that you would rather not see, feel free to also let me know as well. And I'll do my best to avoid those things if I can. There is so much that I don't know about making money as a creative and so much that I want to experiment with this year. So I'll keep you posted and let you know how things go. And in the meantime, thank you for your patience if I get anything wrong. And please know that I'm going to do my absolute best to get things right. Okay. With that, we can move on to the next goal, which is all about community. And really my dream is to build a supportive community in this little corner of the internet. I'm really stoked about this goal because I've loved making friends on YouTube and more recently AuthorTube. And everyone on AuthorTube has been so nice and so encouraging. There's so many people that I could name, but for example, Brielle, who is legit my hero and somebody that I look up to so much and that's inspired my YouTube channel. She actually took the time to watch my first video and leave a comment, and it literally made my entire month. Anyway, this is just an example, but literally everyone has been so lovely, and I can't wait to get to know other AuthorTubers more. One of my favorite parts of my corporate job has been all the friendships that I've made, and I really hope that the same can happen with YouTube and writing. With that in mind, I am really looking forward to launching the comfyera Writes newsletter, which might actually even have launched by the time you see this video. I'm gonna be experimenting with a couple of different things when it comes to the newsletter, so I'd love to hear your thoughts of what are posts that you'd like to see, what are things that would be interesting to you. What I'm thinking right now is I'll share a little bit more of the behind the scenes of some of the videos, maybe do some polls so that you can vote on the videos that you'd like me to make. And I also think I'm gonna give some freebies or discounts on Notion templates, because if you can tell, I'm obsessed with Notion. I'm using it for so many things, and obviously I'm not sponsored or anything like that. I just genuinely love it and find it super useful. So I'm excited to share some of these templates with you. And hey, maybe you'll get hooked too, and we can be Notion besties. Let's see, what else? I also hope to organize 1 or 2 YouTube collabs. So if you're a YouTuber or a small AuthorTuber like me, please reach out. You can find me on Instagram. I'll leave it right here and in the description below. And yeah, I'd love to collab. Collabs are one of my favorite things to do because it's a fantastic way to connect with other YouTubers. And I also find it really nice as somebody who watches YouTube, because I love to get to know other YouTubers that I might not otherwise have discovered. And yeah, I hope that by watching my collabs and playlists, maybe you'll get to know some new YouTubers that become your favorites. And then I think that my last YouTube goal will be to reach out to at least 6+ creators on IG or email. And my hope there is really to build a friendship, but I don't want to force it, of course. So I'm going to start by just reaching out and then see who I vibe with and who vibes with me. And yeah, hopefully go from there. If you're a fellow AuthorTuber and are looking for a critique partner or just somebody to chat with, please feel free to slide into my DMs. I'd love to know you. My cat was crying. I don't know if you can hear him purr. Mister. So I had to actually bring him upstairs. You want to be a part of this video, huh? So, little intermission. His name is Holden, but we call him Mr. Kitty. He's 15 and he's the love of my life. Look at him. Look at this boy. Look at him. Fuju, fuju. Hi. Can I do the video? Okay, now moving on to the next goal, and that is becoming my healthiest and fittest self. As I mentioned before, I spent the better part of 2024 and 2025 recovering from some pretty gnarly health issues, and now that I'm finally feeling better, I'm really looking forward to getting healthy again. And for me, the 2 things I'd love to focus on the most are increasing strength and building my flexibility. And to make it measurable for myself, I think I want to achieve a 27% body fat, and if possible, the splits, which is something I've never been able to do in my entire life. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I won't embarrass myself in front of the entire internet, but if I do, it should at least be entertaining. The reason why I want to focus on body fat percentage and not the scale is that I feel like obsessing over a number of the scale is not the healthiest, at least for me. And I also noticed that sometimes I lose weight and I feel like I look skinnier, but then when I actually go measure my body fat percentage, I realize that maybe I lost a lot of muscle or I gained a lot of fat. And so overall, I don't feel like I'm actually healthier. I just look better. But I really care about genuinely being healthy, which I think is always important, but especially so now that I'm quote unquote older. I want to make sure that I hold on to as much muscle as I can, that my bone density is good, that I'm eating really well. And for me, it's not so much about losing weight, but rather being the healthiest and strongest that I can be. Okay, now let's get into the actions that I'm gonna take to hopefully get to these goals. The first is going to be to strength train at least 2 times a week and do ballet at least 3 times a week. I'm really excited to try ballet again. I did it for a few months when I was 28 or 29 and I absolutely loved it. But then when I moved to San Francisco, I had to change studio. I never really found the right one. And then the pandemic happened and then my health stuff happened. So I just stopped completely. But now I'm excited to dive back in. And then I'd also like to do some flexibility training, ideally at least 3 times per week. We'll see how close I can get to the splits, but I'm pretty excited about this new training that I just bought, which is supposed to be circus inspired. And that sounded kind of intriguing. Hopefully it will at least be interesting. If you're curious about my health and fitness journey, I'm probably going to share a little bit more on the comfyera channel. But that said, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see some glimpses here and there in this channel as well, because I can definitely give you a sneak peek. The next goal is really to nest. If you don't know that already, I have ADHD, and I promise you that if you walk through the door of my house right now, you'd be able to know immediately because my house is a mess. This has been especially true since we moved into this new home, which is a little bit larger and which also coincided with the start of my health issues. The issues compounded, and the result is that right now the house has a lot of piles of laundry that needs to be put away and other knickknacks that I bought thinking, someday I'll really need this. And that day never came, but now I have too many knickknacks and I don't know where to put them and I'm running out of storage and I'm panicking and yeah, the situation is dire. And if my house could talk, it would call for help, but it can't talk and so it's just silently suffering. With all of that in mind, the goal this year is going to be to turn my home into a cozy, organized and uncluttered space to recharge and connect with my friends. Sounds nice. And what I'm going to do is first, I want to declutter my entire home and clothing because like I said, we have so much stuff that we don't really know where to put it. Then I'm going to set up ADHD-friendly systems to make the house easier to maintain because I know everyone is different, but the way my ADHD manifests is that for me, the hardest part is to set up the systems. And then once I have the systems, it's actually not as hard to maintain them. But yeah, the issue is that since we've moved to this new place, there's still a lot of systems that need to be set up. And yeah, I just haven't had the energy to set them up yet. So hopefully we can fix that this year. And then I also want to make the living room more homey to comfortably host friends. And maybe potentially even redecorate my entire living room because, for example, right now we have a super tiny couch that barely fits 2 people. And it would be so nice to have one of those comfortable L couches and maybe some nice comfy chairs as well so that we can have people over and hang out. That would be the dream. We made it to the last set of goals, which is all about romanticizing life and appreciating all the wonderful things that life has to offer, from people to pets to wonderful places to visit. There is so much that I really want to make sure that I savor this year. With that in mind, my goals are going to be to connect with friends at least 2 times per week, because I will say that the biggest downside of focusing so much on YouTube and writing is that I haven't really had as much time to hang out with my friends. So yeah, I miss you guys. Thank you for loving me, even though I haven't been able to see you as much. But hopefully this gets better in 2026. And in the same vein, I want to make sure that my friends and loved ones feel cherished and that they know how much I love them. And so I want to do little things to make them feel more loved. I also want to make sure that I go to Japan to celebrate my dad's 75th birthday, which will be so amazing. I actually speak a little bit of Japanese and I've been to Japan once before. So I'm super excited to plan the trip for my dad who's never been. And I hope that this becomes the trip of a lifetime for him. And then last but not least, I want to cuddle with Mr. Kitty daily. He's actually the kitty that you saw earlier in the video. He's a true cuddle bug. And the reason I was holding him is that he actually starts crying if me or Daniel leave the house. And I believe Daniel had gone to the gym and he was feeling lonely. I love all my cats. We actually have 4 cats, which is a lot of cats, and I cuddle all of them daily. But I just want to make sure that I'm spending as much time as possible with Mr. Kitty, especially because right now he's a super senior. He's 15 years old. And even though he's really healthy, and I hope he stays that way for as long as possible, I also know that 15 is quite old for a cat. So I just want to make sure that I'm making the most of every moment of his life and giving him the best experience that I can in his old age. These were all my goals for 2026, and I'm really excited to hear yours. So please share them in the comments below. If you made it to the end of this video, you are the best. And please put the sparkles emoji in the comments because I really hope that this year is full of light and beautiful surprises for us. Wishing you all the very best this year. Buona scrittura e a prestissimo. Ciao!